year, now on the 28th of Adar, that marks the Hilula of a very famous Syrian rabbi. His name was Rabbi Shmuel Laniado Z'tl, one of the great rabbis of his time. He actually came from great rabbinic auspices. His father's name was Rav Shlomo Laniado, and his mother's name was Rabbanit Chana. Very interesting enough. He was born in Syria. It was reported over he was the 5th generation from Rabbi Shmuel Laniado, who happened to be the author of the great Torah book called the Klei Chemda. I believe we've spoken about this on various occasions before. Now he would, let's just say, from night and day would be really diligent with regards to studying Torah, and was an expert with regards to the whole of Shas and different, all the halachot, the Jewish law in of itself, and very much was known for his piousness in of itself, and his humility was a very, very notable, let's just say, feature of the qualities of the greatness of the rabbis. Now it's reported over his wife would be the daughter of Rav Chaim Dweck. The Dweck rabbinic dynasty happened to be a famous rabbinic family in Syria, which we've spoken about on various occasions before. Now, after the passing of Rabbi Shlomo Laniado Hazaken, there was another rabbi that was known of the name Rav Shlomo, respectively. He would begin to serve instead of him in his place as a chief rabbi of Aram Tzovah of Aleppo, also known as Chalab in Hebrew, naturally. And remember, that was a very, very prominent and huge position. That was. He was recognized, let's just say, as the highest authority of the entire region. Answered various different halachic responsa that were addressed to him from various different cities across the different parts of Syria at that point in time. And even as far as from Baghdad, Iraq, other rabbis would consult with him on various different, let's say, major halachic decisions with regards to, let's say, food products, for example, and it would rely on his, let's just say, signature or his authority within regards to deciding. For example, I believe one of them was a prohibition of eating grape leaves, if I'm not mistaken. And I think at a later stage it will be, he would actually, to be precise, the Hebrew year, Hey Taf Kuf, I believe his son, Raphael Shlomo Laniado, will actually fill his place as a chief rabbi of the Jewish congregation in Chalab, in Aleppo, respectively. Now, I believe he, so he passed away in the Hebrew year, Hey Taf Kuf Yud. He would pass away and left over great descendants, including his sons, Rav Avram, Rav Eliyahu, Rav David, Rav Yitzchak, Rav Raphael Shlomo, who happens to be the author of the Beit Dino Shel Shlomo, another famous book which we've spoken about on various occasions before. His teacher happened to be Rav Shlomo Laniado Hazaken, and among his Talmidim was a famous Rav Tzadka Chotzin Harishon. He happens to be the author of the Torah colossal work called the Tzadka Umishpat. We've spoken about Rav Tzadka Chotzin, the more recent rabbi. I believe he was one of the famous rabbis of Baghdad at the time. Now, his book was a Beit Dino Shel Shmuel. That was a famous book. I think that was itself, respectively, printed in the year 1583, if I'm not mistaken. And he was definitely one of the famous rabbis of his time. Now, friends, we're a community here. We're learning about great rabbis of yesteryear. It's Hilula of Rabbi Laniado over here on the 28th of Adar. We're just about to come inside the month of Nisan. We've learned, really related over probably about 100 Syrian great Chachamim of yesterday. Please, if you happen to be related to any of the great Chachamim we are speaking about, please let me know. I'd love to hear more information. If you are interested, you feel anyone's interested in watching these videos, share the videos to other people respectively. We're a community here. We love learning about great rabbis of yesteryear. Now, I think the Beit Dino Shel Shlomo book consists of, just to add on, of Sheilot and Shuvot, the various different questions and answers. He got, I think, on the 4 sections of the Shulchan Aruch, the code of Jewish law in of itself, which we have to, point out, especially from the time period when he was in the prime, in the premiership at that stage, with regards to all the different great positions he had, respectively. I recommend everyone to learn more about him, search about him, and wish him all blessings and Shabbat Shalom, because we're about to come inside Parashat Pekudei over here in the city of Bet Shemesh. Wishing you all well and take care. Be well, everyone.